What's going on? TDX here with a game break, if you will, a trade break. Finna react to this big deal that just happened earlier today with my counterpart over here, who's ecstatic as hell.
Oh yes, within
Go ahead,
reason though.
man. Go ahead. I'll let you have it, man. Go ahead.
This like I want to be with. I want to keep this all within reason. Is this trade good? Yes. This is awesome. As long as we get the not the Gabe Davis, man. I wish it was Gabe Davis. As long as we got the Stefon Diggs that Josh Allen has had over these last 4 years. Hell, even just the last 3 years. If we can just get that production, couple it with what Nico Collins gave us, get a healthy Tank Dell back, we're set in that wide receiver room. We really, really are. But, we just gotta make sure the numbers work. And the best part about it is the way his contract's set up. If he flops this season, we can cut bait and walk away. No dead cap money after this year, which is why I'm confused at why the Bills just didn't wait it out.
Well, he had 3 years left, so I get they probably wanted to get out of the money. But face value, what we got right here. So for those that don't know, Stefon Diggs was traded to the Texans today. The Texans sent a 2024 sixth round pick and a 2025 fifth round pick. And I'm sorry. Stefon Diggs got sent to Houston with a 2024 sixth round pick and a 2025 fifth round pick in exchange for a 2025 second round pick via Minnesota, which is the pick that they just acquired from Minnesota to move back out of the first. So it's not even a second this year. So they was able to salvage their second round this year, and they still have Minnesota's second this year. So
Yes.
effectively, Houston traded back in the draft for a current second and Stefon Diggs.
Yes, and the funny part is they use Minnesota's picks to do it. The genesis of Stefon Diggs' career. I think there's a
And
little
they still
irony to be
have their
said in
second
there.
this year.
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing overall is like that trade to me says absolutely they were 100% done with Stefon Diggs, just as much as he was done with them. And so, like, how do you trade a bona fide number one receiver for basically a bag of Skittles and a middle finger on the way out the door?
Well, remember, you know how it goes with trades, man. We don't know how this trade is going to go until all the picks have been made, and then we see, a year or two, maybe even three, into the careers of the players that were made, and then we can truly grade the trade after that.
I mean, this is true, but I mean, still, like today's winner is Houston in this one. Like it is definitely a head scratcher. I mean,
But hear
like
me out
why
on
they
this
gave
one.
up
Hear me
so
out on this
little.
one though. If say for instance, I'm the Bills now, right? What if I couple that up with my first, use that pick that I just got from you, from you guys, to move up in the draft, to move up maybe closer to get Brian Thomas Jr.
Don't get me wrong, that's definitely a possibility. I can see them trying to work that in there to make that happen. But I mean, they got defanged on their defense because of their salary cap problems. They didn't solve this salary cap problem with this. They wound up making a bigger cap hit to do this one, to where if they would have just kept them one more year, they could either cut bait with them or exercise their out, or they could have cut them for a fraction of what they just got hit with this year. Like it was 27, it was what 27 or 29 to keep him. That was against the cap, and it shot up to 31 because they traded him. So they shorted themselves on the cap. They went from 7 million to 4 million now left in their cap space.
Well, let's look at it from the good and the bad from both sides. Which side you want to start with first, the Bills, or you want to go with Houston?
Let's go with the Bills because everybody already knows Houston's upside with this
Okay, so this is I'm going to go with the upside and then the downside with the Bills on this one. So with the Bills, let's look at the upside first. So they were able to get off a receiver who was 31 years old, who seemed to be unhappy there. Who uh, every I felt like every time they lost or he didn't get enough targets or enough catches, he had something kind of slick to say about what was going on there. So I mean, that's the I guess the bad side of it, without going too deep into it. The good side is I think a second round pick's pretty good compensation, even though it's a future one. That's pretty good compensation for Stefon Diggs. But also the bad, like you said, they're taking a cap hit. But we won't know the more good on that till we see what they do with those with that second round pick.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, you want players who want to be there to perform. But even with Stephon being unhappy, especially this last season, he really did perform. And let's not forget, Stephon Diggs, all 4 years, he was pretty underwhelming in playoff performances. I mean, for as really good regular season as he was, he had a habit of disappearing when he needed most. I mean, every Bills fan is going to sit there and point out that epic drop he had in the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Everything's not on him, but a lot of it is on him.
but I'm just saying, like that's what a lot of people I feel in Bill's Mafia are going to use, because they're just trying to do what they can to make sense. I think Josh Allen's hero ball approach kind of finally just wore on Stefan. Now, you know, I don't agree with his tactics to get out, but I mean the writing was on the wall. He was coming after the Bills. His brother was coming after the Bills. Like I see this as a net positive for the Bills on, eliminating headache. I just wish they could have hung on for it to make a little bit more sense because y'all are making Nick Casario look like, well, he just made y'all look like Bill O'Brien getting rid of D Hop.
Nah, that ain't the same. That ain't the same. Y'all got a broken running back and a four for D Hop. Don't try to make up for that one. The
Yeah, but
recovery
at
that
least
y'all did do from that trade was the Deshaun Watson deal. Y'all won that deal astronomically.
I 100% agree, but I mean, still though, I mean, like, we basically were like, look, if we're gonna take on Stefan's full contract in its entirety, where we have to pay him every year outside of this year, uh, y'all gonna have to give us a little bit of extra compensation for this. Y'all gonna have to give us a
And that's where
player,
the fifth and the sixth came in.
yeah, and that's where that came in, honestly. And again, I would have pushed for something this year, at least a third this year. We could have come up off that, but I
Well, no,
mean,
you got a four. You got a sixth round this year.
no, no, no. I'm talking about if I was the Bills, I would have tried to get
Oh,
something in this year's draft. I think that's where a lot of people get hung up on is the fact that it's next year's draft that they got a pick for. Like,
well, yeah,
was
you
there just
definitely
an
didn't
error
want to
on
give
the
up no
paperwork?
compensation for this draft because this draft is deep.
Very deep, and I think that's the reason why we were okay with moving back.
Yeah, it's no problem.
But
Like when y'all first did the move, I told you I thought it was a pretty good move.
but don't get
I
me
thought
wrong,
it was a damn good
I would
move.
have rather settled. Yeah. I mean, I would have been more happy if we would have got JJ, but I mean, like, hey, I'm not going to be greedy at this point in time.
You know, you can't get JJ now. Damn sure can't get
No,
him. But the
damn
thing
sure
is, this
can't get him.
the few Houston fans that I do know, but like I said, my boss is a Houston fan. I told him just because y'all move back doesn't mean that y'all won't move up. If somebody starts to tumble that y'all are high on, you still have 2 seconds this year, so you can couple those and move up.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot that we can do, and I think with this, we went so veteran heavy with everything. I really think that that's going to help out the team in the long run. Because at first we were like, "Oh, you guys are the young team, that's great." Now we got a lot of veteran presence in there to help take that next step to overcome this sophomore slump that's coming in. So, and I think also with this trade, it does help us pull even with a certain division rival, who's just been out there making splashes and big moves, and who is trying to recreate what
It ain't
D'Amico
just
Ryan's
us,
did
man.
his first year.
It ain't just us, man. You got to remember what the Jacksonville Jaguars have been doing too. They've been making some pretty good splash moves too. Of the teams in our division, the only team that's not really doing anything huge is Indianapolis.
Well, the Colts are going to be interesting to see what they do going forward. I mean, they still have Anthony Richardson. They still have you still. Ooh,
I'm here. I'm here.
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was just
Okay.
staring at you, staring at me.
Oh, sorry. It was like you was like dipping out and reconnecting and everything on my side. Sorry about that. They still have Anthony Richardson that is still a big wild card. I mean, you saw what they were able to do that. They were able to get Jonathan Taylor to stay for another couple years. They got him back under contract. So now we're looking to see how they shore up their defense and going from there. So the AFC South is I think is still going to be up for grabs, regardless of all of these moves going forward. I don't think there's a definitive number one, and I don't think there's a definitive number four. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, if I had to say who has the
Looking at
best chance,
rosters, I'm looking at rosters. I think Indianapolis is in the bottom right now. We're just looking at rosters.
right? Then that's and yeah, and that's where I was about to go. Just looking at rosters, you got I say Indianapolis at four, Jackson or Tennessee at three, Jacksonville at two, Texans at one. But I mean, Jacksonville's unsure of their quarterback, which is why they went out and picked up Mac Jones. So that right there tells me that it's going to be that Mac or that Trevor's going to be looking over his shoulder most of the season, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Does his team support him? Does his team not support him? So seeing how that goes, we'll see how that goes.
Okay. I mean, I agree with that assessment. But looking at the other side of the Texans, if you look at the upside and the pros and the cons from getting Stefon Diggs, this screams we're trying to win right now. This type of
Yeah.
trade says that we believe that Stefon Diggs is the piece that we need that can get us over the hump. Um, with you're supposed to make moves like this when you have a rookie quarterback contract. You're supposed to maximize your cap space, maximize your personnel because you're not paying a big quarterback contract. So I get the move. However, what does Stefon Diggs think that he's going to get as far as quarterback play going from Josh Allen to CJ Stroud? I'm not saying that that's a downgrade, but that to me, that is a from what we saw last season. If he does that again this season, it's like a lateral move, dude. You're going from a top quarterback to a top quarterback.
Right.
So I don't understand what Stefon thinks. I mean, again, Stefon probably didn't ask for Houston. They probably just traded him to whoever was going to give him. But I just don't get what Stefon is what he wants from wanting to get traded again.
Think he just wanted out of there. I think he was just tired with everything that was going on, tired of hearing how great Josh Allen really is just for him to sit there and shrink when the moments needed him most. I always go back to that game and kind of defend that last playoff game and really defend Stefon Diggs. Yes, he had a big drop, but you look forward, you look back at that play, that last play that could have got him into field goal range to tie that game up. You had the tight end on the drag route wide open. You had Stefon Diggs just past the fourth down line, and then they had Gabe Davis streaking down the field in double coverage. Who did he go for? Gabe Davis in the end zone, double covered.
Hey
So
man, we'll see. But the
I
issue with this too though is that CJ don't have a favorite receiver. CJ throws to who's open. I don't know how Stefon's going to feel about that.
the who didn't have a full season?
No, CJ Stroud doesn't have a favorite receiver. He just kind of throws to
Oh,
whoever's open. Stefon Diggs
mm,
might not like that.
no, no, because I'll tell you right now, he does have a favorite receiver. It was Tank Dell. While Tank was on the field, it was Tank. But I mean, you're also right too. He's also going to throw it to who's ever open. And I mean, look at it, man. It's gonna be either him or it's probably not gonna be him the first part of the season. Let's just be real. Everybody's gonna try and double cover Stephon. But you're gonna have Nico when he starts to heat up and Tank once he gets back on the field. Those two guys are gonna start detracting a lot, especially Dalton Schultz with the fire that you saw him start to catch towards the end of the season. So Stephon Diggs just needs to learn to be patient going forward, but that I mean that wide receiving court, that passing attack is going to be lethal. And then you got to think about it. Joe Mixon can either enter the passing game or he can sit there and be able to rush it as well too. And if Damian Pierce can recapture his rookie season, I mean Stephon's going to be all right. He's just got to
Man,
run. The
Damian
only thing he
Pierce
needs
is
to
on
worry
his
about is
way
getting
out.
open.
Damian
I
Pierce on
said
his way out, man.
I said the same thing about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but look, the Chiefs brought him back for a year.
Now Joe Mixon is the guy now. That's why y'all brought him in and extended him immediately.
We're gonna have to see what Damian Pierce does in his second year. He's gonna have to show some develop, or in his third year, we're gonna have to see some development. We really, really are out of him. So we'll see. We will see.
Well, one thing that I do like about that I like about the moves that we've made is that even though you guys got this three-headed monster potentially going on right now, we have the DBs to cover it now, so I'm not too worried.
Mm, I mean,
Ain't
I
no,
agree.
we got the DBs to cover it now.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Because
Not to
I
mention, we
don't
got one of
doubt
the
you
better
got
slot guys in the league too.
I understand that, but I mean Stefon Diggs is a monster, man. And then Nico Collins is crazy and Tank did like you can't speed is tough to beat because we're trying to emulate what Kansas City did. You got a strong tight end, and then you just got a litany of receivers.
Hey, we'll see. I'm not too worried about it in my secondary. If we get a safety too, I'm really all we need is a free safety. If we can get that, I ain't too worried, man. Our secondary is nice.
I think y'all are going to give us the most trouble, our passing attack the most trouble. But you got to remember, though, man, we're still going to be able to have Joe Mixon be able to run it and get it done and be a part of that passing attack too, whether he's got a block or whether he's got to catch it coming out the backfield. So I mean, like it's it's going to be interesting. Our game is going to be is the one that I'm looking forward to the most, other than us traveling to Arrowhead. But that's for different reasons.
Yeah, when the schedule comes out, we got to definitely make sure we can either get to the game or watching the game together, if not
Oh,
both of them.
100%. 100%. 100%.
But I guess we don't want to belabor this too long. But in other news, there was another trade that happened since the last time we talked. And I know we said when we talked about this beforehand, I was like, "There's nothing else that happened," but it came to me. Hassan Riddick goes to the Jets.
Yes, that was another big one that went
Yeah,
through.
for list, but this is the crazy part for a 2026 third round pick. That not
Whoa.
next year, not next year, next year.
Why were they, so what was the cap implications on that? Did they save any money moving him? Like what was going on?
Well, no, I mean they're not. Of course, they're not going to save too much because he had guaranteed money, but they probably didn't take a huge hit. But the fact that the Jets was able to kick the can not just down the road, way down the road. Because remember, we're entering the 2024 draft. They got a 2026 third rounder.
Yeah,
That's quite. They gonna forget they have that pick.
they are going to forget they have that pick. They're going to package it and they're going to ship it off to somebody else. Watch it. They're going to be like, oh, damn.
They're gonna be like, and the Philadelphia Eagles on the clock. And we are, we're on the clock.
We didn't trade this one already? Damn.
Yeah, but that was a
But,
big one. That
but
trade also signals to me we're trying to win right now with the
I'm
Jets.
about to say the Jets have to win right now. I mean, they're going to be interesting to watch, especially with Aaron Rodgers coming back. Is he going to be back to what he's going to be back to? Is he even going to be fully committed to the damn game because he's trying to run for vice president?
He ain't
So
running
that's
for.
going to be
That's a
interesting.
joke, man. That's a joke. But you got to
Eh,
remember, look at
eh,
the moves that they made. They're loading up. So they got Hassan Rick on the other side. They signed Tyron Smith. They signed Mike Williams. So they're
Yeah,
loading
that
up.
was huge. Yeah, I'm interested to see what in the hell the Chargers are doing because from the way I'm looking at it right now, the AFC West, everybody took a collective step back and was basically like, "All right, KC, uh, I guess y'all can go try for the Super Bowl again." So, yeah, we'll see y'all next year's draft.
All I'm seeing is a whole bunch of moves that ensures that we get Joe Alt. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. Loving it. Loving every bit of it. Because the Chargers, if they don't move back, they have to go wide receiver. Because
They
they don't
don't
have
have
like three
anything
wide
else.
receivers on the roster. So they have to go wide
No, they
receiver. The Giants, if they don't go quarterback, absolutely have to go wide receiver, which lines it up
Xavier
for Joe
Worthy.
Alt to land in Tennessee. And it's not going to be Xavier Worthy.
I know it's not. I know it's not.
It's not. No, no,
I'm
no, 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 no,
just
no, 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 no. We did a mock draft. You said Xavier Worthy.
I
That's what it's
told
going to
you
be.
I had to get into the head. I was channeling the Giants tomfoolery going on in
In the
there.
land of Derek Reed Lane, Xavier
Hey,
Worthy is going to go before Roma Dunze.
hey, look, man, it's the Giants. This is me wishing all of the bad juju on the Giants. And the famous words of Dave Chappelle, I hope all the bad things in the world happen to you and only
That's it. But
you.
I guess that's all we have for breaking news.
Breaking
It's the first
news.
first breaking news episode that we did. Real short, real cut dry, just reacting to the trade.
Absolutely.
But as usual, like, comment, subscribe, comment, beat him up
Absolutely. I
for
welcome the
some of
hate.
his takes. But
But of
that's it,
course,
man.
do
Signing
not
off
forget.
here, man. Go ahead. What you
Yeah,
got?
signing up. But don't forget to follow us, or not, follow us on Rumble as well too, because that is where we will be hosting our live draft for the first round. We're gonna take a
Absolutely,
good
man.
look at
Please
that
tune
one.
into that, man. Please tune in that. You're gonna see all of our live reactions to that.
Yes, we are on Rumble and we are at TDX 3412 on Rumble. So just give us a look up. We would love to appreciate everything and love and support on that as well as on YouTube. But Rumble's the only one that's going to let us stream right away. So again, join us on Rumble. We'd love to sit there, take your comments, go with your reactions as well too. And we'd love to hear what you feel your favorite team is going to do with their pick, run their franchise into the ground, or take it to the next level.
Absolutely. Hey, Rumble, there'll be live comments in there too, right?
Yes, they do have live comments in there as well
Nice.
too.
Nice. We will
Yes, that's why that
absolutely love to interact with you people out there. Absolutely.
and I would love to see everybody on there when the Giants do not take Xavier Worthy come at
No,
me
don't
and
back up
tell
from it
me
now.
that I was wrong.
If you didn't see the episode where we did our mock draft, please go look at that one and let us know what you think of the mock draft. As you can see, there's a little spoiler right now of what's going to happen at 6. So go comment on that too. Appreciate everyone for watching.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good night.